Hello, this is Adam Silva, which you probably already know. And this actually isn't what I was going to do originally for the ASU Fitness. It's called Mindful Observation, and the reason is because you need to well observe things, and that room doesn't have a lot to look at. But with this only being 10 minutes and the video and everything, I decided to change it up and do something outside, especially considering unless we're working in an essential job, there's not a whole lot of reason for us to be outside these days. So you can do this in your backyard, in your front yard. If you don't have a yard, look out a window. I'm going to use a simple example right now, so you can just get the gist of it. I'm not going to go into really big and details. So I'm going to turn you around so you can see what I'm looking at as I describe it. Now for this, I decided to use something simple because at times, I mean, some of us, like again, don't have a backyard, front yard. Sometimes the window we're looking out, they don't see anything interesting. So you can do it with anything really. I'll get more into how you do it with more complex things that you look at a little later. But for right now, I'm using this wall and specifically a brick on the wall. I mean, I can't tell you which one, but since they all pretty much look alike, I mean, I'm just going to be describing one of them, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Now, the one I'm looking at the point is when you do this, is that you don't only observe it, but you focus on it, which I know sounds like the same thing, but it isn't. Um, you don't let outside thoughts crowd it. You just focus on it. And of course, you can use it, trees, flowers, which I enjoy doing with blades of grass, clouds, and whatever it takes or whatever interests you, really. Again, I'm only using the brick as an example because it's simple and a lot of people have access to something like this, or, only have access to simple things. So when you're looking at it, you will look at many different things. Like in this case, there's only like three things. You look at how worn it, or four. You look at how worn it is. You look at the color. You look how the texture looks like, and the shape of it. Now, texture when looking at anything, since you're just observing it, you know, if you have come in contact with it, then yeah, you know what it feels like, so you know what you're looking at. Uh, but the thing about this is, even if it looks like something it's not, it doesn't matter. You're not wrong at what you're looking at. It's your opinion on what you're seeing. So, I mean, no one's gonna, there's not like a list where you have to notice these things about each object. It's simple and it's your option. So, anyway, like for example, on this brick that I'm looking at, it's mostly square, the shape. A couple of edges are actually curved, which is interesting to me anyway. The texture looks rough, it's brown, and it's kind of worn too. So I basically just described it, but in more sophisticated, I guess the word is, you can look at different objects and be more specific about them. Like, again, I mentioned flowers and trees. There's so many different little things that are part of these, counting the petals, counting the number of indentions on a tree. Uh, it's it's a lot easier because the length of this exercise is supposed to be about 10 minutes. Like, you should be doing this for 10 minutes at looking at objects to find something you enjoy and can look at for 10 minutes. But the most important thing is the thoughts that are focused on as you're doing it. You're, again, observation, focus, not exactly the same thing. Focusing means you're only looking at this object. You're only looking at what you're seeing in front of you. You don't let your mind drift from that. And in this case, well, in some cases, you're staring at something, so your mind's going to drift, or what you're staring at reminds you of something, so your mind's going to drift. The thing you got to do is first, thoughts, you accept them. You accept them, but you let them pass. Don't deny the thought. Don't try and push it away, because the more you try not to think about something, you think about it. That's just how it works. So just think about what you're thinking, let it go, let it pass through you, and then get back to focusing on the object and observing it. Uh, the whole point of it is to give you your sense of relief from your stress, from what's happening on the outside, which I know a lot of us are dealing with that right now. Uh, I have actually done this a few times since I've gotten it, since I first found out about this, and I've really enjoyed it. It's really helped me on certain occasions. Now, right now, we're all going through tough times. Some of us are working our essential jobs, and we're not going to internship or school anymore, so we don't get out to see the people we know, but at the same time, we're forced to do all the work that comes with those two things. So, and it can be overwhelming. A lot of this can, and this is a good way to just focus on something and observe it that's simple, that's not complex in the extent that it's not going to affect you in a big way. This is just something you can look at a given time. And like I said, I've tried it. I really enjoy it. Um, I know right now we're going through a lot, and we've never been involved in this kind of situation. People our age have never been involved in a pandemic before. Um, and it can be stressful. Like, it's changed our lives. It's thrown it all off. Shops are low on things. I mean, you all know what is going on. I'm not going to go through everything because the whole point of this is to be less stressful. But I recommend taking this and using it. I mean, if I'm sure there's other things on these videos that have been used that are helpful to you. Use what's on the videos. Use this. And hey, if there's anything else, then send it to a friend who needs a way to get through this. Um, I I just think it's a really good way to do things. Now, I think that's about it. Like I said, you're supposed to do it for 10 minutes, but due to the length of this video only being about 10 minutes, I'm, gonna not do that. Um, but again, just do what you can to get through this. I use these mindfulness things. This has really helped me, and we can get through this. So, I mean, I hope you're all doing well, and that's about it. Have a good day.